Today we are going to Sore Thumbs in York. Now, I know you've not been to York for quite some time.
Years.
So not only is it a beautiful city, but of course we've got Sore Thumbs there. Now, the beauty of this place is they have just had 22 boxes, additional boxes that have cleared customs from Japan. And before we left this morning, we were siphoning through the socials, which I will link in the description, and boy, are there some gorgeous horror games. Now, we're both horror fans, aren't we?
Big horror fans.
What's your favourite horror game?
Oh, Silent Hill's up there, Silent Hill 2, Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think for me, Silent Hill 2 is definitely up there. I briefly mentioned that in an episode recently. If you guys didn't watch it, for me, Silent Hill 2, PlayStation 2, of course, built on everything that was great about the Silent Hill on PS1, but obviously better graphics, like much better graphics. Resi 2, for you, what's your kind of hankering on Resi 2? You and I spoke privately about this, but just for the viewers.
I mean, for me, the concept of the two discs, one where you play as Leon, one as Claire Redfield.
Right.
It's the same story, but two different paths on that story. It's just amazing to me. I wish we saw more of that.
Who did you play through first then when you were younger? Were you like, I think I know the answer.
Claire Redfield, because she's a woman.
Hey! Absolutely. And of course, let us know, when you played Resi 2 for the first time on PS1, who did you play through first? Again, a very unique thing for its time, I think, having those two discs.
Very, yeah. It just blew my mind. Have we seen that on another game since?
Oh,
I can't think of one.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of one.
There must be one.
Yeah, I'm sure the viewers will let us know. So we're actually going to go and kind of take a look at that now. Lee is in London, so he's at a gaming market. So he did ask me just to let you guys know that the stock in the shop might not be as packed. But when you guys do go, I dare say you will not be disappointed. Sore Thumbs packs a punch every time. And I think it was September 2024 when I was last there. So it's well over a year ago now. So supersonic excited for this one, and we may even stitch in some gorgeous footage from the shambles for the American viewers as well, because York is stunning. So we'll head on out. We are 15 minutes away, and we're gonna nip to CEX, but that'll be for a future episode, so let's get on it. So we've made it in, guys. It looks like down this area, which we will obviously take a look at, has been completely revamped with some new cabinets, mainly full of toys, and of course the Resident Evil stuff, which we'll take a look at, because that was the stuff that was on Facebook, and some stuff down here as well. Loads and loads of stuff in, and a Virtual Boy section. Holy crap. And this, check this. Right, pinball game, The Real Ghostbusters. Bloody hell, what an absolute relic from the 80s. Oh, I immediately saw that then. I recognise this. 60 quid, that is not bad. That is not bad. So this is a surprise section, guys. We've just clocked a 1/6 scale, if I pronounce his name, Ludens.
From Kojima Productions.
Okay, 330 quid. Bargain?
I mean,
it's up there.
Not a bargain, but I'd have it.
Yeah. Okay, so, 330 quid. Let us know if you like Death Stranding, but this has caught my eye, the Resident Evil stuff. Check it out. Here it all is. We believe that this has come in recently with the 22 boxes from Japan. My God. It's a lovely display piece. The artwork is just, on the Japanese stuff, is stunning. My opinion, anyway. But some big hitter PS1 stuff down here. Have you seen this?
Ooh, hello.
Right, so we've clocked some big hitter PlayStation 1 stuff down in the bottom there, which we'll check out. There's more. It's like Resident Evil stuff everywhere. It seems to be like popping off at the minute. But check this out.
Indeed, some lovely big hitter PlayStation 1. Let us know what you would have picked up. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all of the channel members listed here. No matter what tier you're in, everybody gets a shout out, and there are 4 tiers to pick from. So thank you so much for supporting the show by being a YouTube member.
So there's also some graded games down here. We've got some Harvest Moon, Psychic Force on PS1. I know that it's a very niche market with the graded stuff. It's not my bag unless it's like a specific game, but might be yours. So
Again, great to see some lovely PlayStation 1 stuff here. Tintin, you don't see that around that often, merged in with a lot of Japanese stuff. And what was surprising was the amount of toys and figures in Sore Thumbs today.
Right, a little bit of Final Fantasy and Yakuza here. Not too shabby again, just box art is next level. £8, look on PS3 there. This is one for Tom. Tom, if you're watching. Some lovely Yakuza stuff here. And a random Red Bull. What is that? That random Red Bull? Oh, that's from like, is that like the vending machine? Look, that's cool. That is mint. Now down here we've got some really cool Turtles figures as well. Shout out to my brother if you're watching, who had all the Turtle stuff back in the day, the original stuff from the 80s. And there's some stuff in here. They've even got some sealed stuff. There's so much Ghostbusters stuff in. Ghost Zapper, that's sealed there, the Fearsome Flush. They've got loads more toys in than last time. I'm quite surprised actually. Even down to the wrestling figures. Now when we showed these at Rerun Games, you guys went nuts for them. Absolutely, there's loads of toys.
So scanning around the top then, there were lots of consoles to pick from. PlayStation, Sega Saturn, Japanese version. Sore Thumbs was absolutely packed. We've got a PSP game here. Gangs of London have said it didn't do that well, which is a bit of a shame. I'm not a huge PSP girl, but nonetheless, there were loads of PSP selection in. Pokemon cabinet, I always like to show it, even though I'm not a huge Pokemon girl myself.
So far, Sore Thumbs looks really nice at the back where they've got those new glass cabinets in. I thought the addition of all the toys looked really nice. Even like kind of seeing some of what looked like old McDonald toys as well. So that was like completely new. Again, a lot of the Japanese stuff was down there. You saw the pallets of stuff or the boxes of stuff that are cleared customs. And I think that's really a good sign in terms of like a review of what you're kind of getting from a shop is, you know, when they're getting fresh stock in and it's constantly turned over. So I think for Sore Thumbs, they really do a good job at adding loads of Japanese stock in. And again, they would have had more, but a lot of it was down at London Gaming Market, which some of you may have been to. So we're going to head to the front of the store now, which is where more of the kind of cartridge-based retro games are, such as their Master System, the Sega Mega Drive, Super Nintendo and such like. Let's whiz to the front. Cartridge-based retro games next, guys. Mega Drive. Again, Lee is down in London today, so he did say it's going to be a bit thin on the ground, but that doesn't stop us from pulling out bangers like Judge Dredd. Manual, very badly damaged. Okay. Still a great game. Alright guys, random one here. Ishido, The Way of the Stones. What is this? I just love random stuff. What is it? From the first move, this ancient and intriguing puzzle game calls upon the deepest powers of strategy and concentration. Nah, I'm lost. I mean, it looks cool though. Box art's on point though, but yeah, not a game for me. Right, some banger stuff in here. Ranger X, unfortunately missing manual, but otherwise a good price at £65. I like that about Sore Thumbs. It'll tell you right on the packaging, whereas this one you got orange, so anything orange, manual, anything blue. If you don't read it, you know it's blue, it's missing manual. I really like that. Difficult game. I think I'm sure I want to say I played that on SNES, could be wrong. But I used to love anything Simpsons branded. So.
Me too.
Did you? Yeah.
Which drew me to it, and then I realised how difficult it was.
I should really show more Master System. I always get roasted for not showing more Master System. So for the Master System fans, a little bit of slap shot for you all. They've got quite a decent selection in. Rampart. I'm pretty sure I've got that. Oh, Renegade. What a game. What a game.
Big fan of the Robocod, James Pond.
From the Amiga days.
Yes.
From the Amiga days, of course. Have that though, that's a really good game. 3, 2, 1 on gameplay, let's get it. Have clocks. Oh, lots of VHS. We've had a lot of luck finding VHS on hunts recently. It's coming back in big time. What have we got in? Ben of Honor, Apollo 13. There's the beach.
What film?
What a film. Yes, indeed. The Craze. The Story of the Craze. A cracking film. Cracking film. Nothing jumping at me though. So we've got another bunch here as well. So shout out to all the VHS fans. Let us know in the comment section, do you still watch VHS? And is it making a strong enough comeback? Found a banger. Arcade classics. You don't see that iteration very often. It's in great condition. You don't see that often at all. So I was eyeing up Ranger X and I was like, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? And I'm not going to reveal on if I did or not. You're going to wait till the end of this episode. But I thought like that again, it was just really nice to kind of see that in. I thought the Mega Drive stuff especially was really tasty in those cabinets, like Looney Tunes. They look really nice condition as well. But now we're going to head, as you kind of walk through the door to the left, there's lots of like Super Famicom games in as well. And some of the bargain basement stuff, including this really random Wii accessory that Heather picked up. Literally didn't buy it, but physically picked it up. Check this out. Alright, we've got some PAL SNES here. Why do I don't recognise that? Oh my god, not good to get them out. Oh, can I get it out? No, maybe, kind of. Oh yeah. We'll pass. Got 25 quid. What else we got? Got most of these. But merged in, there's a ton of really good Japanese stuff as well, like the Bomberman on Super Famicom. Got a lot of these already for them, imported from Japan. Some NES in. Ooh, Repro Box, Fighting 464, what a game, what a game. And Marco's Magic Football. I think that was like Soccer Kid, pretty sure that's like Soccer Kid or an iteration of Soccer Kid. Not bad for 25 to be fair. What we're talking. It's a Q pack.
For the Wii.
For the Wii. Now, hey, look at the screenshots on the back. What do you reckon? Game changer. Get it. Gripping.
I want to see what's in it.
Oh, here we go. We'll have a little look. Yes. Getting it. So a little bit of Q action there on pool, snooker, whatever it is you want to play. And we were saying like how strange it is for the Wii to have so many random weird accessories. I don't know what the weirdest accessory is that I've ever seen on the Wii, but that definitely is up there. Like, it felt really flimsy, really weak. It was just such a terrible like waste of plastic. I don't know, call me crazy, but and it was only priced at £4, and I jokingly said we'd pick it up. But yeah, totally strange. Now, in terms of what I picked up, you're not going to believe this, But in this particular shop, I didn't pick up anything, which is again really strange for me. And that was because most of the Japanese games I'd already picked up and got, including the Super Famicom stuff. Down near the Yakuza games, there was a lot of Final Fantasy games, which I do have on my shelf over here. Some really nice, just like the cream of the crop, if you like, with in terms of Super Famicom. And I can't read Japanese anyway, so if I'm going to play Super Famicom, I prefer to play something like a beat 'em up, like Final Fight, where I don't need to read Japanese. I can just kind of feel my way and have that kinesthetic experience with a game, rather than have to sit down and read and read and read and kind of pick multiple choices with something like Final Fantasy, for example. Now I know on like the Hyperkin, you know those like Hyperkin like 5-in-1s, you used to be able to get translation patches for that, so you could use like an SD card, whack it in. I did a video about it years ago, but then ended up selling my Hyperkin, so it was like, you know, piece of hardware that I wasn't too fussed about. But they were really good for translation patches on the likes of the Super Famicom consoles, games rather, to be able to, you know, just kind of play them in English. So that's like a freaking godsend. I don't know if anybody in the audience actually still uses those things, but for me, I kind of just thought I'd rather play on original hardware, if that makes sense. And I'm starting to get a bit more picky as well with the kind of Super Famicom games that I'm getting in for that reason. But it's kind of strange not like picking anything up. It's kind of weird really. But I will say this, we went to CEX in York after, and boy was it a surprise. It started really bad and it ended really good. So I'm not even joking when I say Thursday's episode, I'm like buzzing for it, because I picked up some wicked stuff. They had a great selection of games in the York CEX. I'm just kind of teasing that there. I'm just kind of throwing that out there. So that was Sore Thumbs. Go and give them a follow, guys. But I wanted to talk to you guys now about games that I've currently been playing, and perhaps some retro recommendations as well. Arc Raiders, okay, so this is not retro, so we've been playing Arc Raiders. Heather got me onto this. This is an extraction shooter that has taken the streaming world by storm. It's had a really high player count on Steam, but I've been playing it on the PlayStation 5 with Heather. You can play in a team of up to 3. And you literally kind of get lumbered into different maps. The more you play, you unlock different maps with very different aesthetics. I think so far we've unlocked the map just after the spaceport. Forgotten what it's called, but it is the 4th map. And you kind of go in, you scavenge for all different I don't know, weapons, armour, ammo, things to take back to your base to be able to craft. It's a lot of inventory management, which doesn't sound that great off the bat, but when you play it, it feels really good. Now, when you're not in the wasteland, in the post-apocalyptic wasteland, you can go into your menu systems when you're kind of back at base, and there's lots of traders you can go to as well. So you don't necessarily have to go out and scavenge as well. You can recycle the stuff that you get, sell it as well, and use that to buy stuff from traders. And so it feels like there's a lot of configuration with like the likes of Arc Raiders, which, you know, again, I really do like that. I really do enjoy that. So I've been playing that over on Kick, and I think it's one of them games that at the minute feels really valid and feels really good, but I'm not sure as to how long it's going to be like popular within the community. Hopefully it will continue to grow, and it's not free to play. I think I paid £32.99 as I'm in the UK, so what's that, like $35, maybe $40 if you're in the US. Let me know whatever currency you're in. I think euro is pretty much like for like with the sterling. So, and I'm thinking, would it have been better to have it like free to play and then buy loot boxes? Probably not. I think it's nice to support the devs, pay for it, and it doesn't feel like too much farming or grindiness. Yes, you can buy in-game skins. Yes, you can buy in-game currency, but it's dead easy to go out, scavenge, bring it all back, providing you don't get killed, by the way, because if you get killed, you lose all your loot. Bring it all back, recycle it, or you can craft stuff. So there's a lot of like the dopamine is there to be able to kind of, you know, really want to achieve. I think it's just kind of hitting the right markers. So Arc Raiders is a really good game on the PlayStation 5. I think it's on Xbox and it's on PC as well, and it does cost £32.99, and I'm really enjoying it. Ghost of Yotai. I'm only 11 hours into Ghost of Yotai, and so far that's equating to just over 23% of the game complete for me. I am absolutely loving this game. As a huge fan of Tsushima, stepping into Yotai feels very familiar. There's no denying the beauty of the surroundings that Sucker Punch have created, with the cherry blossom trees, then moving into mountains, and then, you know, just moving into, you know, meandering around smaller towns or farms. And You know, it just looks stunning, down to the detail of the blades of grass as they undulate and move. You know, even getting so much joy out of utilising photo mode as well, which has, I've never really been interested in photo mode until Tsushima came along, and of course now Yotai. So being able to really enjoy that, the beauty of it, the character Atsu, she's awesome. I'm loving all the customizations between the different armor you can get. I'm doing a lot of bounties at the moment though. I just did one last night and it was absolutely solid on stream. It took me so many attempts and it was for 1500 like coin reward. Usually the bounties that I've been doing have been 750, but this was 1500, so it was double. So you can imagine the difficulty was a lot higher. But honestly, I kid you not, I've really been enjoying it, and I think a lot of you guys have as well. And it's just nice to have that kind of exclusive, because we've not had much exclusivity with the PlayStation 5 or the series either, the Series S, Series X. So for the PlayStation kind of 5 stuff, you know, it is really nice to have a good exclusive and a reason to kind of play the PS5 for having a PS5 and not having something that's cross-platform. So I'm excited to dive into that more. What's interesting to me as well is the amount of people that are coming in stream say, platinum this last night, Jen, platinum this. I'm like, wow. So it's even like the community are like stepping up to say, hey, you know, I'm enjoying this. I've even gone as far as to platinum it. So that's really cool, man. I'm feeling the love on Yotai. I'm feeling how important it is to people. And I hope we get more from the Ghost of World, Tsushima, Yotai, and then whatever's next from Sucker Punch. What a game. What a game. What an experience. You've got to play it. Now you're familiar with this. I love Fortnite, but I have not played the Simpsons update, but I have pumped hundreds of hours into Fortnite. And I've always said, as much as I love all of my retro games in here, Fortnite is my guilty pleasure game. Now, I haven't played it much recently because Yotai and Arc Raiders have been taking a lot of my time on the live streams, but I do envisage getting back with Team 24 because we play on comms, on stream, and I do need to get back onto it. But I love my zero builds, absolutely. I'm not coordinated enough for like building. I'm thinking, where the hell? You know, I don't know about you. Like, can you play build mode on Fortnite, or is it just me? Like, I'm terrible at it. I'm a zero builds kind of girl all day long. So when they brought that out, that's when I started to come over and play Fortnite. So it's my guilty pleasure game, and unfortunately it gets the lowest numbers on my live stream. I understand that. You know, a lot of people don't like it, but I hope you guys, if you've played it, let me know. And it's interesting because a lot of people that I've played with, like, never really played it until they kind of watched me, and then they were on the team, like I say, on the team, on the squad, on comms, and everyone that's now playing it in our team, in our squad, really loves it. So I'm kind of glad we can spend some of that, you know, Fortnite love together, which is really cool. But they're the three main games that I'm playing at the minute. So I thought this would be a really nice segment just to kind of bolt on, just to let you guys know where I'm at with that. So anyway, with all that aside, I want to talk to you. We'll do some like Super Nintendo recommendations, just as a little bit of a nice segment here in the episode. So SNES. You know, I'll maybe do this again, but with like a different console. If this kind of takes off, we do like PS1 recommendations, bolt that onto the end of a retro game hunt. We can do Sega Mega Drive. We got like Dreamcast, we've got GameCube, we've got loads of stuff. So we'll start with Super Nintendo, right? And if this segment kind of takes off, like leave a like, by the way, or maybe like do like 1,000 likes, we'll do something else, I don't know. We'll do some nice retro Super Nintendo recommendations now. So let's get that bad boy done. Now we could dive in here with the likes of Super Mario Kart World, Super Mario World. Of course, they are staple recommendations. But outside of that, I want to give a little bit of time to Street Racer, because this was a really good racing game that emulated the likes of Super Mario Kart, with very eclectic characters, and the addition of this like football game, which I actually really enjoyed more than playing the races themselves. This game I thought made great use of Mode 7 as well, and you can also get this on PlayStation 1, so I'm cheating a bit here, as obviously we were talking about Super Nintendo recommendations. So I really liked the variation of characters as well. It was clearly influenced by Super Mario Kart, but that's okay because it pulled it off quite well. I was a little bit nervous going into this when I was little, but actually It's really, really good. I think the box art looks lovely. The sound, the game sound is pretty gnarly too. And Street Racer is definitely a Super Nintendo game that's quite cheap, affordable, plentiful because you do see it around at the markets quite a bit, and definitely one you guys need to snap up and play along with this, by the way. Recommend your top 5, well not top 5, just some Super Nintendo recommendations, but definitely Street Racer is a nice little low to mid price game for you to maybe collect before the end of 2025. Now, do excuse me, this is a slightly different variant to my Super Tennis copy that I've got here on the shelf. This is a Spanish version. This is an incredible Super Nintendo game. Now, back in the day, we were like, again, it was all Mario, Mario, Mario. And then you get this like random little tennis game that creeps onto your radar and you're like, tennis? When I could play Super Mario World. But when I played this, I was flipping hooked. You know, I was getting dopamine every time I was returning that ball the other side of the net. I really, really was freaking loving it, and I still get that same vibe about it now. It's really easy to pick up and play this one, and I think that's the pulling power of Super Tennis. Pick it up, play it, enjoy it. What more do you need from a retro game? So Super Tennis, again, you expect to pay between £10 and £20. Paid a lot more for this as it's a Spanish variant, but if you're on a market hunt, get it unboxed for even less. But the box itself is in really nice condition, as is my PAL English copy down there. But this is a definite staple on the Super Nintendo. Fighting time. I'm sorry to the Street Fighter 2 fans, as much as I love Street Fighter 2, I'm going Mortal Kombat 2. Packed with way more characters than Mortal Kombat. Felt like so much more brutality compared to Mortal Kombat, of course, which we do have here next to 3 as well. But this, for me, I don't know, it just pipped Mortal Kombat to the post. Very difficult combo, kind of fatalities, etc. right at the end. But I actually really enjoyed that because we used to go into WH Smith's, right, get all the kind of combos out the back of the magazines, write them down, go back to Matt's house and try to pull them off. Now, he would pull them off, right? Me? No, absolutely not. I was so bad at it. But I actually welcomed that challenge. I really did welcome that challenge. And I think, you know what? Can we really talk? I can't really talk about the Super Nintendo without talking about like Street Fighter as well. I love Street Fighter 2, but Mortal Kombat 2 is my favourite Mortal Kombat game. And of course, I've got the Scoremaster arcade stick down there. I've got another one upstairs, and I think that if you can utilize like a Scoremaster, like an arcade stick, you get in a bit more experience, a bit more kind of bang for your buck, a bit more of a just kind of fun vibe with it. So Mortal Kombat 2 is my next recommendation. My final one is a totally random one. I used to rent this from Blockbuster, and still to this day actually know what to do. But I can tell you this, I flipping enjoyed whatever I was doing, and that is a game called Family Dog, which is very difficult for the collectors out there to get CIB. So you play as this dog that just kind of, it's just like a side scroller, almost like a weird kind of graphics, very basic graphics. And you just meander from left to right, dodging, like jumping on the sofa, jumping on things, and just, I was like, what on earth is this? And I remember feeling like it was a little bit Echo the Dolphin-y, in that I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I actually doing? But it was that kind of intrigue that just kept me kind of playing it, and I used to rent this. So as much as I think that this is probably the weaker game out of the others that I've shown, as this is the lesser known, not necessarily a hidden gem, but definitely a hidden game that you probably need to pick up. They're quite pricey. CIB, I paid $1.95 for this, but it was just fun. It kind of says on the back, take a wild look at American life through the eyes of Family Dog. Dodge mischievous antics and prankster and the prankster's son as he teaches little pup new tricks. Play dead is the whole meaning as youth bombards, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, chasing tennis balls, all that good fun stuff, right? Family Dog, one for the collectors if you want to kind of reach out and really get something a bit more, you know, a bit meat on the bones for your collection. But in terms of players, if you obviously can emulate this, do whatever you want to do, but it's about 50 quid unboxed. Definitely need to play Family Dog. Listen guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the sore thumbs segment. Let me know what you're playing, and if you've got any retro recommendations, please slam them in the comments. But for now, I just want to say thank you for being here, and I'll see you in a really good CEX episode on Thursday. Take care guys, see you in the next one.